Hi, and welcome to this time of prayer. And when do you find it easier to love others? You know, there are people that come and go in our lives that sometimes it is just so easy. There's so much fun. They're just a joy to be around, right? There's all these things. And so it makes it easier to love. And so to think about that, even about ourselves, like maybe we struggle with loving ourselves, or maybe sometimes we find it easier. And when is that happening? Why is that kind of happening? So for today, continuing on in Luke 6, verses 30 and 31. Give to everyone who asks, and don't demand your things back from those who take them. Treat people in the same way that you want them to treat you. So Jesus is continuing on in this teaching of what does it mean to love one another. And here he's all about, all right, you got to treat people like you want to be treated. And don't hold grudges with, if someone borrows something and then they don't return it, you got to let it go. And so to think about that in our lives, of the things that maybe we have a hard time letting go of, the things that maybe trip us up sometimes, but that to come back to how do we want to be treated by others? And so when do we find it easier? Maybe has to do with something like that. When we actually feel like somebody is treating us like they would want to be treated. And so to consider that, when are those times? Why do we think it's easier? What makes it easier? What do we need to hold on to? And what do we need to be like, well then, is that love? Or I just I just like it. So to think about, what are those lines in the sand that we sometimes draw? Those boxes of, well, I will love when, I will love if, I only like when this happens, I only like it then, and then maybe we can talk about love, right? If it's got certain parameters on it. And so Jesus is really challenging our notion of trying to get us to question all those aspects of when do we find it hard, difficult to love? When are we holding on to stuff? When are we finding it easier? How does this play into, hey, you know what? You treat others as you want to be treated kind of way? That all of this swirls around how we are loving others. Pray with me. Oh God, as we try to understand what it means for ourselves to love others, to not just love ourselves, but how that works. That when we read of treat people in the same way that you want to treat you, of how do we incorporate that as we are trying to love in your world? How that sticks in the back of our mind. Give us guidance this day, oh God, as we try to understand those words. Amen. Have a great one.